Amulet of everything? Amulet of everything? What even is that? What even is that? I did not expect to wake up to an announcement of 26.0, but they have been doing something that I suggested in a previous video. I mean, not that they took my suggestion, but something that I took, or a suggestion that I made in a little while ago. My clan is going off right now because we are very close to beating tournament. We are this close at beating tournament, and the only reason why we haven't already won tournament is because obviously that was 5 hours ago. 5 hours ago was when most of us were all awake and we all did our battles, but it is now 5 hours later and we still haven't won, and we're this close because not everybody was on at reset. And now we're trying to heal our way to victory, because if you didn't know, you can actually when you get plundered, when you can heal and then you get some of those points back. And so now we're at that point of trying to tell everybody to heal or do their battles or do something. Anyway, so that's what all of this chat that is inevitably going to pop up here because now I'm in Discord. Anyway, I did not expect to see this when I woke up, but they've been doing something that I suggested from a long time ago, and it was to slowly, if they're not prepping an update, to slowly give us information over the course of time, as opposed to dropping everything at once and then nothing, and then just dropping nothing. We've had the Fortuna event, we've had the Bard event, we've had, just all of these in-between things. We have the random tournament. As they were prepping this, they didn't announce 26.0 like a month ago or something, and then have no information. And they waited until now to announce 26.0, so that they can prep it and feed us information over the course of now until the end of January, or I'm sorry, end of July, middle of July, second half of July, so middle to late July, and all of this is very exciting. This is the kind of update that I live for. When they do updates for legendary talents, some, we're giving talents to Stasis and Clock, I don't have those units. And so as exciting as it is for me to talk about, and, to see, I like seeing the talents, I can't use them. And there's a large quantity of things in this update that they're changing that I can use and that you can use because they're all free to play stuff. They're not giving legendary talents. They're revamping and messing with existing cards that are in this game that are commons, rares, and epics. And that's as a content creator, it's very exciting. As a not 7,000 crit content creator, that is very exciting for me. But Amulet of Everything? What the hell is the Amulet of Everything? I want to talk about that first, because what even is that? A new amulet will be added, creating special points on the field by merging units and increasing their rank in these points. The amulet will buff the damage dealt by all of your units. The only way this works, so it's essentially a growth tile that you can slowly buff, but I'm telling you right now, the only way this is balanced is if it is weaker than a max legendary magic amulet. It has to be much weaker than a magic amulet. And just for context, because I do have a magic amulet, it's not leveled up. My growth tile goes to 57%. I'm at level 17. A magic amulet, that's a level 6, this goes to 21%. A level 6 version of this thing has to be less than 20%. Like a legendary version where all of your things are getting buffed, it has to be less than 20%. It's the only way this works. you have to be getting such a small buff, because if not, if it's even on par with a magic amulet, I think everybody switches from amulet of growth to this, because giving your entire field a buff sounds insane. Like, that just makes a bard deck better. That for sure makes a genie deck better. I mean, I feel like a lot of small thinking players are thinking monk, like monk equilibrium. It's going to make monk equilibrium better. It's not. It's going to make monk blessing better. I feel like there's a large quantity, and that's probably why they're doing it. Because, like, when you take a genie deck or a monk deck, they're using so many tiles on the board, but they're choosing to just build up the big one so that they can use amulet of growth, because 4 units is probably good enough, and that's the meta that we've been in for a very long time. It's a meta where gadget doesn't exist, because it's better to build like 4 strong units than it is to build a full board of okay units, with scrappers and dryads and whatnot, like a demon hunter deck. A demon hunter deck would benefit crazy from this. And I feel like adding an amulet like this will allow maybe gadget to actually become a thing. Gadget decks where you're utilizing more of the field. I'm very excited about this amulet. I know that a lot of people will look at this and be like, oh, you're just adding another amulet, so now whenever you random pull for things, now you can potentially get this as well. That's how I felt about whenever they added some other thing to the amulet pool. Oh, because I think, was it growth? I can't even remember. They added something to the pool, and it was originally just one thing to the pool, in that pool, and now you had the ability to get multiple things. I can't remember what it was. It might be amulet of growth, because it might have been like magic amulet was the only thing, or maybe it was like magic amulet and amulet of weakness were the only 2 things that you could get, and then you could get amulet of growth. It was something like that. It was like there was only 2 of something in one of the pools, and then they added something, and then yeah. Anyway, other changes, improvements, new enchantments. That's exciting. New enchantments might mean things that are better than, nothing will be better than Counterspell 2. This is probably bad. As opposed to like what I felt about the amulet of everything. New enchantments are going to make your percentages much lower. So even if they do add another legendary, now that's just another legendary that you could potentially get. Or just, you know, a bad enchantment, like a rare enchantment or a common enchantment. Yeah, adding enchantments, that's not great. That's just going to make getting counterspells much harder. Reworked bonuses from armor and the amulet of weakness, and balance adjustments for certain items. Certain items is very ominous. It feels like they're trying to say spear or amulet of growth without saying it. It's possible that they reduce amulet of growth in order to make amulet of everything better. I don't know. That's just speculation. 26.0. I'll start from the beginning. Time flies, and the release of 26.0 is just around the corner. The update is scheduled for the second half of July. We can't wait to share all the exciting new features with you. The upgrade system for legendary units will be revamped, and new sources for obtaining them will be added. This makes me feel like, well, I mean, that might even be tied with legendary summoning. You'll be able to expand your deck or upgrade a legendary unit in the new workshop section available from Arena 4. Here you'll have the opportunity to obtain copies of legendary units by spending magical bells. The idea that you can buy a legendary copy with bells is insane. The level of items and heroes will be equalized in regular events. I have no idea what that means or how it pertains to this. And then new rewards will be introduced in these events. The idea that you could theoretically buy copies of legendary units with bells in conjunction with the Laboratory of Experiments being in this game if this is as good as it sounds, this is going to be yet another great free-to-play invention by the Rush Royale team that I love. Because it's something that a new player needs, and it's something that an old player needs. I need 3 copies of Monk in order to get a level 15 Monk. And that is reasonably easy enough by just putting it into the Laboratory of Experiments and then just re-rolling, because I also need the other 4 things that I've put in there. And if I happen to get a Monk, that's great as well. But being able to specifically get copies of something with bells, however you obtain bells, if you could like pay into that and get specifically get a Monk, that would be, or a trapper or witch. I know anybody that watched my Tesla video, they're like, they're going to comment, I thought you were only going to do supports. I am only going to do supports. It's just the first thing in my mind, because all I need is 3 copies of Monk and I could have a level 15. I mean, like, I have to upgrade it from my 11 right now, or my 12 right now, to a 13, to a 14, to a 15. But I have all the copies to make it a 14, and I just need 3 copies. Anyway, being able to use a certain currency, even though this is yet another currency in this game, I think we're beyond the point of, this is too many currencies. It doesn't matter. It's all sorted for you. Like, you don't have to sort any of these currencies or keep track of them. You just have to, like, keep track of how you obtain them. But, like, obtaining bells in order to pay into this to get a copy of something, to get an automatic copy of something, even if you have to spend bells and give a legendary to like trade it, I would still do it, and I still think this is good. If it is as good as it sounds, I think this is very good. The upgrade system for legendary units will be revamped. And new sources for obtaining them will be added. This makes me wonder if they're going to address the crystal problem that everybody complains about, that it costs 9 crystals for every single legendary, or you get to a point where it's 9 crystals for every legendary, and 9 legendaries is kind of a lot of legendaries to upgrade one card from 12 to 13, and then 13 to 14, and then 14 to 15. That's 27 legendary. Like, you need so many crystals, and you need so many legendaries. This is going to make me, if that is what this is, it's going to make me revamp a couple of videos that I've done in the past. And that will be exciting for me. Archer and the Sentry will receive new talents. The Archer will be able to use a special arrow and summon Hawks for assistant. Don't do the joke. Don't do the joke. I'm not going to do the joke. Those who know, they know. Do you summon 1 hawk or 2? The Sentry will fire enhanced arrows and create special tiles on the field, providing additional bonuses upon moving there. Ooh, that's exciting. When you move to a tile, it's a baby Blooming Dash Blade Dancer. It's called It's called Sentry Portal Keeper. I don't know. Blooming Dash is kind of the talent name. I don't know what Sentry will do. That's very exciting. I'm very excited now about that. The Sentry will fire enhanced arrows. Oh, you know what? That's just gonna be my title. The Archer joke is just gonna be my title. My title of this video. You've now heard in real time me coming up with a cool title for the video. That's definitely gonna be the title. But yeah, that sounds really cool. And that makes more sense with the balance and talents. Balance and talents will be adjusted for the following units. Portal Keeper. Now, that was originally going to be the thing that I was excited for the most, because that sounds like Portal Keeper is getting talents. I don't think that that's what that means, or else that would have been one of the units that they were going to talk about. You know, Portal Keeper gaining talents. I think that means because of Sentry, they are going to balance Portal Keeper. I think that that's what that means. If you don't already know, Portal Keeper used to have a 2-second delay when you move it. And it was crazy. At max, at level 15, you were getting a 2-second pause in between time. And then you also, it also used to have a shield on itself and on the unit that it moves. So it was really good early on for a lot of different reasons. One, it was getting rid of negative effects. It's one of the only ways to get rid of negative effects as a new person. Two, it had the ability to protect itself and another unit. So if you had enough Portal Keepers on the field, you could move a bunch and then not even get tribunaled. Three, because you could protect things. You could protect things against Bedlam. You could protect things against Warlock. You could cleanse things from King Pudding. You can cleanse Dark Priest. Portal Keeper was my favorite unit. If you go back to like the first tier list that I ever made, Portal Keeper was my S tier unit. It was my top of the line, top tier unit, because it just did so much for you and for your deck. They have nerfed so many aspects of Portal Keeper. One being, as you can see here, 5-second delay. At max, you're getting a 5-second recharge rate. It was 2 seconds at some point. They changed the where it protects. It gave a shield to itself. It gives a shield to the. No, I'm sorry. Does it give a shield to itself, or does it give a shield to? No, it gives a shield to itself. It doesn't give a shield to the unit that you're swapping. I think that's how it works. Is that how it works? Does it not even say? Oh, falls asleep for a little while after moving. When sleeping, he is protected from any negative effect. Yeah, so it gets a protection. So if one of your units is going to get warlocked, you can swap it, and then it'll hit the Portal Keeper, and the Portal Keeper has a shield. But if your Portal Keeper gets targeted, your choice is to move something to there, and then that gets destroyed. As opposed to what would have happened, where you just swap it with anything, and then both things survive. And that difference is very big. Losing a Portal Keeper or losing a different unit is very big. And so now that they're creating Sentry Talents to be a movement-based thing, I think that's why they're re-looking at Portal Keeper, and maybe they'll give some of that back. I can't imagine them nerfing it even more. The reason why they nerfed it in the first place, the reason why they nerfed the where both units get a shield, was because when Dark Inquisitor was ruling the world and it was the most dominant deck, people were running Portal Keeper and Dark Inquisitor and just infinitely saving Dark Inquisitor forever. You just had a level 7 Dark Inquisitor and a level 7 Portal Keeper, and then you had the shield on the Dark Inquisitor, obviously. And then whenever the shield would go away, you would just switch it with the Portal Keeper, and then both of them would have a shield until the shield came back, and you just had an infinite Dark Inquisitor. It was dumb. And because of that, they took it away, and because it was the only deck the only top tier deck, and it was the best deck that was using it. And so, like, I get why they took it away, but then it just made everybody who kind of wanted to use it, now you have a weaker version, like a Blooming Dash Blade Dancer player. Reaper, Priestess, Hunter, Engineer, Sharpshooter, and Rogue. All of these cards already have talents, and so they're saying that balance and talents will be adjusted for the following units. I think they said they had to say balance and talents, because if they just said, even if they're just balancing the talents on Reaper, Priestess, Hunter, Engineer, Sharpshooter, and Rogue, even if they're just balancing the talents on all of those cards, then people would think that Portal Keeper was getting talents, and I don't think that's the case. I don't think that they're just secretly being like, also Portal Keeper talents, because that would be in the previous paragraph, and there would be no reason for them to like put in here. And so I think it is going to be a balance on some of those numbers. But in terms of Reaper, Priestess, Hunter, Engineer, Sharpshooter, and Rogue, I think a lot of people read this as they're all getting nerfed. They're going to be worse than they already are. But I'd like to think positively about these. I think that because not a lot of people use any of these, I think they're probably gonna get buffed or changed, or something to where people will start using them again. In terms of Sharpshooter, I think Sharpshooter could get nerfed because that's the only thing that's kind of being used. But I think everything else, I think they're gonna get buffed. If they buff the chance for Rogue to get a Shinobi, I would be so happy. I would be so happy about that. I don't think you'll understand how happy I will be about that. I think you'll understand how happy I will be about that whenever I do my seething hatred video for Crystalmancer that I'm still thinking about doing. I just haven't. But yeah, that's the 26.0, and I'm very excited about all of it. It all sounds very exciting. I'm interested in seeing if the bell system is going to be as good as it sounds. I'm interested to see what the new upgrade system for legendaries are. I'm very excited for Sentry. Sentry getting movement, a movement thing happening. Fire enhanced arrows and create special tiles on the field, providing additional bonuses upon moving there. That's such an interesting concept. It's like a blooming dash, like a baby blooming dash deck, for people who want to, maybe start running Blade Dancer, which is the big brother to that deck. I think that that's a really cool idea to do baby versions of better decks. Like a High Arcanist Crystalmancer deck is basically a baby version of a Dark Inquisitor deck. It's something that it's oh, okay, you like this playstyle, you'll love Dark Inquisitor. Oh, you like or you like the Sentry moving, things, you might like Blade Dancer. I think that's a cool idea to transition people that are starting the game with these units to start liking older units, or legendary units that do basically the exact same thing. I don't look at it as redundancy. I look at it like that. It's if you like this deck, then you'll like this better version of this deck. I do like everything that's happening here. I'm really excited to know what those amulet numbers are going to be, because that seems like a really, really good change. It feels like I feel like it'll change the meta, where Magic Amulet was redundant, because Amulet of Growth is just a better version of Magic Amulet, because you have to merge onto it, and it just becomes better over time. This giving you a bonus to your entire field, I think that'll open up opportunities for Gadget to shine, and that's exciting for me as well, because with my level 19 Gadget. But yeah, anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will catch you guys next video.